Well, hello again, kiddies. Old Uncle Raggy here. Old geezers and others. Hi, sign. Password. Enough of that. As many of you know, I play all day, and I play all night. I make music. I make sounds. I don't stop for many things, but there's one thing I do stop for, kiddies, and that's whenever VB Ed puts up a new video, and we are going to join him, as we always do, in progress. Kiddies, I give you VB Ed. Take it away, Ed.
Thanks, Raggy. That was Raggy Ragsdale. I think everyone's heard of Raggy Ragsdale. He's part of the YouTube establishment. He's part of the furniture. He's been around for years. Everyone knows Uncle Raggy. But if you have never come across Raggy before, the details to his channel are in the beer box below. And you'll see that Raggy loves making videos about teaching people how to play musical instruments. A lot of music videos. He does a lot of vlogs. And I tell you what, Raggy does the best rants on YouTube. And I'm serious. When something has really pissed Uncle Raggy off, he gets into this mode and he pumps out the best fucking rants you could ever imagine. Yeah, I know that's a big statement. He only does rants, probably 1 or 2 rants a year. It's only when something has really pissed him off. But hey Raggy, come on, do some more rants, will you? Okay, so that's Raggy Ragsdale. His channel details are in the beer box below. Okay, let's get on with the program, shall we?
He's VB Ed, he lives in Perth, making super videos for all his worth. His channel is great, he's a good mate with Bella Farrell, so don't hesitate.
G'day beer lovers. It's your old mate again here, VB Ed. Okay, I'm going to be talking about the motor vehicle racing industry in Australia. Well, if you haven't been following the news, the Australian car industry, the Australian car manufacturing industry is closing up. We can't compete with imported cars. We make cars very inefficiently in this country. They're overpriced. And a lot of the manufacturers are pulling out. You know, like Mitsubishi pulling out, Ford are pulling out, and Ford have hit hard times, and they've announced that they're going to stop sponsoring the motor racing industry in Australia. You know, what we do over here, the big sport in motor racing is V8 touring cars, okay? And usually it's always a competition between the 2 major brands, which is Ford and General Motors. Okay, over here we call them Holden, okay? It's called Holden. So Holden versus Ford, okay? And there is a rivalry, big rivalry between Holden fans and Ford fans, okay? And when we have these big V8 car races, you know, there's like 20 Fords in the field and 20 Holdens, you know? And whoever wins, usually it's Holden that wins, you know, Ford are usually the inferior brand. This year at the Bathurst 1000 there was actually a Volvo, don't know what the hell that was doing in there, but it did quite well. Well anyway, Ford have announced after next year they're pulling out, okay, so that means it's only just going to be Holden. And this rivalry between Ford and Holden, you know, in the Australian car racing industry, it's been going on for decades, like 40 years, yeah, about 40 years. So this is really sad news for petrol heads. Me personally, I don't give a fuck. I can't stand motor racing. It's bloody boring. Except Formula 1. I follow Formula 1, but this bloody car racing stuff in Australia here just boring as batshit, doesn't interest me. Okay, so after next year, they're going to have to reinvent themselves, you know. And can you imagine what's going to happen? You're going to have these people, they're going to have allegiance to these firms like Volvo, you know, holding up Volvo flags and having Volvo t-shirts, and Mercedes, you know, maybe Mercedes might enter a few cars, you know, and people will hold up Mercedes flags, and I just can't see it ever being the same, you know. You know, the truth behind most Holden fans is, you know, even though they support these high-powered Commodores, this is the cars that most Holden fans actually drive. Yeah, that's a typical Holden fan. They don't even drive a Holden. Hey, what's worse, you know, Ford fans, you know, they're all just a bunch of fucking bogans also, you know. And this is a typical Ford fan.
I can't fucking see anything.
Yeah, typical Ford owners. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next few years, what actually happens in Australia, whether the motor vehicle racing industry is going to reinvent itself.